Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
Now they set up the screen. That's complete. It's a loss of 2. Now 3rd down.
Time to give a little credit here. That was an excellent read by the guys on the defensive side of the ball.
Oh, you're crediting your defense.
Got to credit them on that one because they tried to fool them, right? Tried to trick them.
Is this intercepted? It is. It's intercepted. Picked up by the former first-round pick, Demarius Randall. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. Here's Rodgers to throw. He'll set up the screen to Lacey. 7 yards there on the first down screen play.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
They'll run for the first time with Lacey. They got half of what he needed there, 2 yards, and it'll bring up a 3rd and 2 more. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively.
The best defensive linemen, they play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen with excellent hands. They can throw people off on a play. We just saw a great example of a really good run stop by a guy playing the defensive tackle position. Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the first down. And that's what he just did. As we well know, there's no shortage of weapons for the Green Bay Packers, but I think Jared Cook's emergence this year was a big factor in them going from 4-6 and making the run they did to the NFC Championship game.
And with that emergence, you look at him, he's a free agent, turns 30 in April. They want this guy back, you would think.
I would think so, especially because the rapport between he and Aaron Rodgers got better and better as the season went on, culminating with that incredible catch in the game against Dallas in the playoffs.
On 2nd down, Lacey. They'll wind up losing 3, and now it's 3rd down.
Brandon, that play ended so fast, it's almost as if the quarterback handed it to the runner, and the tackler was there right away for a loss of yardage.
From midfield, here's Rodgers. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. And they're going to at least line up to go for it here on 4th down. Rodgers going to go on 4th down. Looks for Nelson, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Jalen Collins. And now the possession will switch over to the Atlanta Falcons. And this offense so good for 3/4 of the Super Bowl, Charles. At one point, the advanced metrics had them at a 99.5% chance to win. It just seemed like everything was going their way, and then the 4th quarter happened.
I think when we review this game, and we say, okay, where did it get away from the Falcons? What was the number of plays the Patriots ended up running for the game?
93.
And the Falcons ran 46. So they wore down their defense on that one. But look at what they did on offense. They were averaging big-time yardage, running it, passing it, had everything going their way. A 25-point lead should still be enough to win the Super Bowl.
Yeah, almost 6 yards per rush, almost 9 yards per pass for the Falcons. Now Ryan. That is caught at the 7. What an amazing season it was for Julio Jones, the Super Bowl. Maybe the best catch we've seen all year, that toe tap on the sideline. He finished with 87 yards, but something you told me is astounding. 4 catches in that game, only 4 targets, too.
Yeah, and if you watch the game unfold, which I know you did, how many times did you see on the replays the number of white shirts of the New England Patriots in the vicinity of Julio Jones? He'd run a route, 2 to 3 guys in his area every time. That's the reason the targets were so low. But he maximized them, didn't he? 4 targets, 4 catches. And that sideline catch, I thought it was going to be intercepted. And he ended up having the concentration to hold on to it and still get both feet down.
This will be taken about the 12. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. And as the Packers get set to come back out on offense, and Charles, I want to ask you a question. You can take it offensively or defensively for Green Bay as they look to next year. Where do they need to focus, draft and otherwise?
I think I'll start on the offensive side of the ball, and I think running back is going to be a position they have to address. No matter what they decide to do with Eddie Lacy, decide what they're going to do with Ty Montgomery, but get more running backs into the mix. I think offensive line, you always want to fortify that position. But flip it over to the defensive side. Who's going to be the pass rusher besides Clay Matthews? Is Nick Perry still coming on? Do they have to draft someone else to help supplement Julius Peppers? In the secondary, they need corners that can cover. That's a big spot for them.
They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense in every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
The starting defense for the Falcons.
Jonathan Babineau's a defensive tackle, knows how to get upfield and spill plays in the backfield.
They come up in an empty set. 4 wide receivers, 1 tight end. Over the middle, it's Jared Cook. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45.
That's a good-looking play to me. The big tight end on a crossing route coming underneath. Sometimes he can gain some serious momentum going forward, can he?
Yeah, he can indeed, and pretty well executed there. He's got his man on the crossing route. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
We always hear from coaches how much they like to run crossing routes because they want to hit their receivers on the go, get them the ball, and keep them moving. How about when you hit a tight end that way? Okay, the receivers are going to run past you most of the time. The tight end, they can do their damage a different way, break a few tackles and really scatter some people, can't they? And Richard Rodgers makes the grab, and let's face it, it's going to follow him the rest of his career. The Hail Mary he caught to beat the Lions in 2015 in Detroit, pretty memorable play.
Those Lions fans, they just don't like you right now if they heard that.
I didn't mean to bring it up to, pull the Band-Aid off the wound there. I was just trying to praise.
Touchdown, Packers! Richard Rodgers, a 14-yard touchdown. And the Packers have drawn even here with the extra point to come.
That's almost just not right. You cover everybody, but those tight ends, they can be awfully reliable.
Very reliable. Defense just has to hate those guys.
This drives them crazy because oftentimes you can't match up with them. They have either with size, speed, or maybe even just strength.
Fielded about a yard deep. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line. Here comes the Falcon offense now as they get set to take over here. And they're hoping to capture some of that magic they had last time out when they were able to put together a scoring drive. But they're still down here, Charles.
Not the major concern, though, because of what you talked about. They scored the last time out. They feel good about themselves. They feel like their game plan is now in effect. They know how to attack and what plays they want to put together. But they've got to keep it moving in the right direction because, as you did note, they are down on the scoreboard.
And that's caught inside the 35. A big play there. Ryan to Jones. 48 yards. Well, we know he's got the speed there. He needed the speed and the hands. A great catch.
And because of that speed, you have to respect it as a defender. So you have to either play off or make sure you're somehow in contact with him, and he's able to do exactly what you said. Use the speed to his advantage and go up and get the football. That's a big-time play right there.
On second down, here's Ryan. His throw caught at about the 5. And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. Mohamed Sanu, 31 yards. And the Falcons have retaken the lead. So they're going to go for 2. To throw for it is Ryan. And they don't get it. They tried for the 2-point conversion there, but unsuccessful. Now after the touchdown, it's Bosher to kick it away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They air attack going. Do they stick with that?
think that they would, because if they were competent enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away. Look, the first down marker is out there, but sometimes it's hard to find for an offense when they're in a long yardage situation, which usually means throw the football. In this case, they went against the tendency and ran it, and boy, the reward was there. A big pickup, and guess what? It's now third and very short in order to try and pick up a first down. There may have been a little bit of an element of surprise there. 3rd and inches, and they go quarterback sneak. I still feel like this is a play that often is reserved for 4th down.
Now this time Rodgers will throw. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. And he's finally taken down, but not before getting across midfield and across the 45-yard line. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. Now a first down carry. It's Lacy. And he is going to lose yardage here. That's going to go as a loss of 7, and it'll set him back for 2nd down.
For me, that was an example of why offensive linemen might want rearview mirrors at times, because you have your assignments to block, but if you can see what's going on in the backfield and maybe the guy carrying the ball is headed in another direction, it might change what you do up front. But if they can't see that and he's not in sync with what they're doing up front, well, this is when you end up with plays like this. A bad one for the offense, a really good one for the defense.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. In the middle of the field, he's got Nelson. One thing's for sure, with Jordy Nelson, you can't fault his toughness. And we saw that on display in the NFC Championship game with that rib injury he played through.
To be honest with you, I didn't think he was going to play in the game. When I hear 2 cracked ribs, I just don't see that as a recipe for a guy being able to play wide receiver in a championship game. And he came back in about 2 weeks' time. You're exactly right. Excellent toughness, incredible toughness. And how about the production during the game? He was a factor, especially early.
Yeah, scored a touchdown, 67 yards as well. To throw is Rodgers. Over the middle, that's caught by Adams. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives them a 1st and goal.
It's a nice completion, a little bit of run after catch as well to create the yardage that they got. But it is so tough to cover that route, the drag route, because they run it at varying speeds. Because the key is to create hesitancy on the defender's part.
Always so empathetic for those DBs, aren't you? And the 8th play on this drive coming up. Rodgers to throw once more. That's caught at the 3. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
And he gets halfway home from the 4 down to the 2-yard line. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air? And he'll take this one in for a Packer touchdown. Eddie Lacy taking it in from a yard out. And the Packers have retaken the lead. Able to punch it in on 3rd down makes it easier for those guys on the sideline. They didn't have a 4th down decision to make.
Yeah, could you feel the exhale? Because they were already thinking ahead, as all the good coaching staffs do. Anticipating, will we have to make the call? They already had it lined up. Never even got to it.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. Last time they were out, they scored. Still trailing here, though, so some work to do.
But it's okay in terms of mindset. Because they scored the last time, they're not quite as worried about being down on the scoreboard, because now their confidence is a little bit higher. They feel like they got something going, and they feel like they can attack again and put more points on the board.
Are you scoreboard watch? This is caught inside the 15. Touchdown, Falcons. Mohamed Sanu, 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Falcons have once again taken the lead. And he atones for his miss the first time around, as this one is up and good to extend their lead. Now after the touchdown, it's Bosher to kick it away. Set to return, this is Jeff Janis. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And they're going to need another score. Got one last time, but still down here.
When you're playing catch-up, every possession becomes crucial, doesn't it? It's vital. Get back out on the field, punch it in the end zone again. They know it's not easy, but what they do have going for them, they did score the last time. They think they've got a good formula working.
And what about the defense?
Well, now you're just saying to yourself, okay, we gave up a score last time. What adjustments do we need to make to slow them down now and get the ball back for our own offense? Is it more pressure? Is it more zone? What do they have to do? They're trying to figure that out themselves.
We'll see if they can figure that out right here. Well, let's change pace for a second. Talk about the Super Bowl. Had some great catches in that game. 2 that will certainly be remembered. The Julio Jones grab on the sideline. And then the last one by Edelman on that drive to tie the game. Unbelievable.
I'll start with Julio because it was unlikely to me about him catching the ball because the coverage from Eric Rowe was tight. He was in front of him, and I think he obscured his vision for just a split second, and he still hauled that one in, got both feet down. But Julian Edelman's catch, that has to be one for the ages. That's going to be talked about as long as we play Super Bowls, because I thought there were at least 3 Falcons involved in trying to break that one up, and somehow he had enough coordination to catch it.
This is caught inside the 15. It's a big play that time for the Packers. And even 60 yards.
I know they had good coverage downfield, but you have to wonder, on 3rd and long like that, how does that happen, that they can get that far downfield and complete a pass? You got to guard the sticks, understand where you are, and so it's almost like someone fell asleep at the switch, and now that the play's been completed, they've got to dust themselves off on defense, pick it up, and figure out how to not let that happen again. What terrifies defenses when they see slant routes thrown is that the receiver is on the move, and oftentimes he catches it and gets upfield. Does a really nice job rallying to him and stopping him for a minimal gain.
Now Rodgers throwing on 2nd down. That's caught at the 2. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Only a yard that time, so now a decision to be made here on 4th and goal. And no move to take the offense on the field. They're going to stay out there and go for it on 4th and goal. Rodgers, and he'll take this into the end zone for a Green Bay touchdown. Aaron Rodgers with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Packers have retaken the lead. And he puts it through. Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And following that long touchdown pass, a 1-play drive last time. Let's see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time. That's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. That's the cardinal sin of defense, not giving up the long pass. They did. Let's see how they adjust.
He'll rifle this one deep right side. Trying to get that in the hands of Devontae Freeman that time. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
Well, I guess we just discovered that someone is certainly not going to sit back and just take it in this game, huh?
No, they were trying to get that touchdown back in one shot.
One shot, trying to help out his defense and let the other team know they were coming after him.
And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation. On 3rd down, Ryan. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. Well, they've had a pretty frustrating. And now a whistle and a timeout called by the kicking team. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. Now let's see how the offense still out there. They elect to go on 4th and 11. They'll indeed go for it with Ryan. And this is incomplete. Boy, a real head-scratcher there. And the Packers are going to get the football back in excellent field position. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And they'll be looking to build off of a nice drive last time, a drive that really relied on the quarterback. And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. With his second touchdown here in this first half. And the Packers add 6 to their lead. And he'll bang that one through. Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And the Falcons now making their way back out onto the field. And last time this unit was out here, costly turnover, and then that turned into 6 points. They've got to make amends.
And how many times have we sat in meetings with coaches and they use the term complementary football? Offense take care of the defense, defense take care of the offense. That didn't happen on the last possession. This is a chance for them to pick themselves back up and help their team.
Yeah, we'll see if they can recoup and recover. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
And frankly, Brandon, we're talking about things I'm not sure we ever thought we'd talk about in the NFL. And a lot of that is the speed at the linebacker position. A lot of these guys in college, they were safeties. They moved them up to outside linebacker to combat the spread offenses. And now we're seeing it in the NFL. Those same guys using their speed to make plays in the backfield, similar to that one.
And let's see, the Packers defensively 6 DBs, so a dime look on third.
Could play coverage or bring pressure.
And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. And how about this one now? In their own territory, a gutsy call. They're going to go for this on 4th and a yard. They come up in an offset eye. Ryan. He finds Coleman. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown, Falcons. Tevin Coleman, 65 yards. And the Falcons draw a bit closer. Big 4th down conversion for the score, and the defense, that is a tough pill to swallow.
Big time for them. How about them just deciding to go for it on 4th down? And, okay, forget the field goal, because that looked like an easy 3 points. Yeah, you might have had a defensive breakdown in there, but they pressed the issue and found a way to get it into the end zone. Give them big credit for that.
Now after the touchdown, it's Bosher to kick it away. Now it's Janis. And they'll be set up pretty nicely here as they have it up to the 35-yard line. The Packer offense now ready to get back onto the field. And they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6.
And they hope it'll be that easy, right? To be able to take exactly what happened before, replicate it. They've got to make a few additional changes along the way because I'm sure the defense will make some adjustments, but they've got to have great confidence having scored the last time out.
And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. So 2 minutes to go in a wild first half. We're back to Lambeau following these words. Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10. And the Falcons going to use another timeout. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. 1st down and 10 now for the offensive group. Now a 10th carry here for Lacey. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, Really well done.
And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. And they're going to hurry back to the line now. They'll try and run for it. Here's Lacey. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
I don't know about you, but that almost felt like old-time football there. 3rd and 2 is not necessarily just a running down anymore. A lot of times they want to throw the ball. They went back to the roots and powered forward and got the first down. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. And a pretty simple completion there underneath, but a successful one for the offense. Partner, it doesn't have to be the big shots downfield all the time. Having that safety net underneath is a great thing for a quarterback. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. And they're going to speed things up here. 2nd and 1, and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down. Being chased out left. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. I really don't know where to go with this one. He caught the pass, but in the opposite direction towards his own end zone. That's not one you get every game.
Rodgers to throw on 2nd down. Going down the middle, and it's complete. Touchdown, Packers. Their dangerous wide receiver, 34 yards. And the Packers add on to their lead. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. So out come the Falcons now. And with time quickly fading here in the 2nd quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this. I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot. To throw is Ryan. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. And there's a good opportunity to just want to ride there. A drop pass. I guess that's why they call them running backs and not catching backs. They come up in an offset eye. Again on 2nd and 10, it's Ryan. Finding time. He's going to rifle. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. On 1st down, Ryan. He's going to go up top again. Now a clash of bodies here, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. And they line up now for what will likely be the last play of the first half. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. Throwing is Rodgers. A hit as he throws there, incomplete. It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense. Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And incomplete on the deep ball. So we've hit intermission. It's halftime. This is the NFL, and it's a presentation of EA Sports. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is fielded at the goal line. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it. And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys. But a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Falcon defense has a touchdown. Ah, yes, the old tip drill works to perfection there.
Ah, you're bringing back great memories. Used to love that drill. And a lot of times in practice, you work on it, not just one tip, but multiple tips, just in case the ball stays in the air for a while, to have an awareness and the ability to go up and grab it, and then you want to get some blocking support and end up in the opposite end zone.
In that tip drill, what do you yell?
For us, it was Oski, okay? Oski was an interception.
For different teams.
Different teams have different ways of doing it. I've heard bingo, jackpot. The worst I ever heard, though, was Frankenstein. You don't want it to be a three-syllable word. Yeah. You want to get it right down and go. Oski is really the preferred word.
Oski. Now trotting out there, the Packers getting ready to go. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters, as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had an ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ballgame.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
They come up in an offset eye. Now Rodgers. Over the middle, it's Jared Cook. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs. Rodgers now on first down. The left side throw complete to Adams. It's a pickup of 14 there. And it'll give the Packers a first down. And quickly, they get to the line. Into the red zone, it's Rodgers. And complete, right side to Cook. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
To throw, it's Rodgers. Jared Cook, the tight end, was the target. And it's third down. And here comes play number 6 on this drive.
Just looking at from a defensive perspective, when you break the huddle in the red zone, tight end is one of the guys you've got to key on because quarterbacks want the ball in their hands fast in this position, and they want to get it to someone. And in this case, he had the play. They just didn't complete it.
And now it looks like they're going to be in the hurry-up. Rodgers again now. Flushed out right. Oh, incomplete. A turnover would have really helped there. Almost intercepted. Instead, it's just second down.
A missed opportunity for an interception would have killed off a drive. He had a chance there to finish things off. Didn't get it done. I guess that's why a lot of those guys do not play offense.
Second down following the incompletion.
319. Go. 319.
Rodgers to throw once more. And he's got it. It's caught for a Packers touchdown. Jared Cook from 3 yards out. And the Packers add 6 to their lead. And he is a reliable target. They like to get him involved. They got him involved there for the score.
And they should. He's a very good player. Remember, they can use him in certain positions, so many different spots, and he usually comes through for them.
Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. Atlanta now coming out on the field. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
They'll get a couple yards on that one, and it'll make it second down. They're going to hurry back to the line now.
In order for a screen pass to break big, a lot of things have to come together and be well executed. But all it takes is one small thing to go wrong and keep it from being a big game.
And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
On every offensive coordinator, every play caller sheet, they have about 5 or 6 plays per game that they call shot plays or big plays, and you don't get many opportunities to dial them up, and they just did, and they drop it with a great chance to make a big play. That's going to hurt.
That one will go down as 33 yards on the third down conversion. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
And he's going to get this inside the 30. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks. And the offense moving quickly to the line. 20. Now a play fake here on first down. Deep drop. His throw caught at about the 5. And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. Mohamed Sanu, 26 yards. And the Falcons have cut it to within a score. And they will line up now for the 2-point try. To throw for it is Ryan. Flush to his right. That's caught at the 1. And no, it falls incomplete. So the 2-point conversion no good. Now after the touchdown, it's Bosher to kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. Good drive last time. Really effective passing the football. Do you maybe mix it up, now go to the ground game and surprise the defense a little bit?
I would anticipate the defense making some changes, but I wouldn't necessarily just absolutely go in the opposite direction. They're doing so well throwing the ball.
Yeah, why
I wouldn't change it up until they showed me a reason to do so.
They'll come out in the pistol. Here's Rodgers to throw. Going up top. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. Randall Cobb, the intended receiver. That'll bring up second down.
There's no shyness there pushing the ball downfield, but I like the coverage on the play. In good position. And when you have a 50-50 ball, who's going to come down with it? I like the way that he made the play. Came across and knocked it away.
So incomplete on first. Let's see what second down has in store. Back to the air on second down. It's Rodgers. And this is Cook with a grab. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down.
There's a completion to the tight end, and I think they were looking at something out of central casting, frankly.
Absolutely.
I mean,
size, the hands.
Speed. I mean, the flat-out run. You put that whole package together, you light up the eyes of an offensive coordinator, don't you?
Looking left side, and it's complete. And he brings this up to the 46. Good enough for the first. When we see another great performance like this out of Aaron Rodgers, you have to chuckle thinking that his only FBS offer was a walk-on at Illinois.
And now he's the pride of Butte Junior College, of course at Cal. And I remember watching him play at Cal, and he would run 7-on-7 drills. Angry if the ball ever hit the ground, and he didn't do it very often.
Throwing is Rodgers. He's going to let this one go deep. And Rodgers intercepted a third time. It's Desmond Trufant. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. After the interception, here's Ryan. He's going to rifle one deep left. And got his man complete. And he gets this one all the way up to the 40-yard line. And we continue to see another example here of offenses just going for it.
And this game has really turned into a receiver's dream and a defender's nightmare because no one's being stopped throwing the ball downfield, and points are going on the board.
They go play action here on first down. He's going to take another shot here. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. It's Clay Matthews with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The Packers offense now heading back out onto the field. And with 3 interceptions thrown already, we'll see, do they rely more on the ground game here?
They may have to change things offensively to try and settle things down, not just for the guy throwing the ball, but for the rest of the offensive unit, because their confidence has to be shaken a little bit. And you just wonder, is the backup going to start to warm up a little bit over on the sideline?
Now look out, Rodgers lost the football, and the Falcons grab it. And this is going to be brought back. It's a scoop and score for the Falcon TD. And a big turning point here in the second half, Charles, after that play.
All you're trying to do is change momentum, flip things around for your team. You're just trying to take the ball away. How about when you take it away and score? That really changes things.
They'll look to throw, and he's going to be taken down. It's a sack, and they fail on the try for 2. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. This is fielded at the goal line. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. Rodgers now on first down. And he'll be hit from behind and taken down. Jonathan Babineau in there to make the sack. He buries him for a loss of 10. Now Rodgers throwing on second down. And complete right side to Cook. A big gain there after going backwards, and that'll lead to a third down.
I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than one tackler to the ball. He broke the first tackle. Luckily enough, there were more people there to get him down.
They come out here in the eye. It's a gain of just a couple there, but it's enough to get them the first.
I don't know about you, but I like this call. 3rd and inches, and instead of worrying about getting it back to a running back and maybe there's some penetration from the defensive front, just go ahead and take it, move forward, and pick up the first down.
And as we say often, shows confidence in your offensive line. One back is Lacey. Now Rodgers. Over the middle, it's Jared Cook. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Looked like the screen pass was taken away there, but what a nice job improvising, finding other options, and completing the pass anyway.
So they complete the pass, and now they face a second down. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. On second down, here's Rodgers. And that one almost intercepted. Far too loose with the football here. Nearly a 4th pick. And it's third down. And 3 full yards here for the offense to get on third down. Rodgers going to try and throw on third down. And he comes back with one complete. That one good for 15 and a first. And on that last play there, he's over 400 yards passing now.
You know what that generally means?
Success.
That, and it means you really didn't miss opportunities. Usually very accurate. The ball's getting to the right place. Guys are making yardage after the catch to help you out that way. I mean, the whole team has picked it up. And don't forget, that means the offensive line has had to pass protect pretty well, too.
Yeah, everyone dialed in. So after that big play, let's see if they can catch their defense maybe on their heels. Throwing on first down is Rodgers. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. So the incomplete pass brings up second down.
Well, any caused incompletion is good for a defense. But when you add to it that you get a little hit on the quarterback, knock him to the ground, make him think a little bit, hopefully knock him off his game, especially in a game of this magnitude, this tight in the fourth quarter, got to feel pretty good as a defense.
And Nelson's got it here right side. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. 18 yards there, and it'll be a first and goal. Well, he flew past 200, 300, 400 yards. Now he's over 450 yards passing on the day.
So what you're saying is oxygen for everyone catching the ball and trying to defend?
Yeah, especially those guys trying to defend right now.
No doubt. They've got to be a confused group because they haven't been able to defend him very well at all. And I think he just wants to keep firing. When you have that kind of a day, you're just locked in. Just keep calling those pass plays.
319!
Back to the air on second down. It's Rodgers. And they will not get the connection there. It's incomplete. Eddie Lacy, the one he was trying to get it to. And it's third down.
So many offenses want to include their running backs into their passing offense and be able to swing the ball out or check it down to them. But sometimes those guys are just not as comfortable catching the ball as they are running it.
319!
Rodgers now on third and goal. And that's incomplete. So a big spot now for Crosby, but he's been here before. And that is no good. Wide to the right. And this score will stay right where it is. So we've seen these be tricky from time to time. You know, you've almost got to cut the ball to make it go through. And this time he cut it a little too much, and he sliced it.
Yeah, and he'll tell you, no excuses on this one. It's a kick every NFL kick.
Now the pressure comes, and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
Now Ryan on second down. He's going to rifle one deep left side. He's got a man complete. It's a big play there for Atlanta. 45 yards. Well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, you hate that. Don't know if you took the advice of the player. You threw it yourself, but it didn't go your way.
At the end of the day, it all comes back to the head coach. He has the final determination on whether to actually challenge the play or not. In this case, it didn't pay off for him.
And that's got to be so heartbreaking. You throw that flag, you probably feel really confident, and then all of a sudden, boom, you lose the challenge.
Yeah, when you take a look at it, you're throwing that flag because you believe you're going to be right. And when it comes back the other way, you have to regroup.
Second and 10 now. Ryan. Escaping the pressure right. Now he'll go deep down the middle. This is caught inside the 15. And that one results in 35 yards. Well, even after all those interceptions, he's not deterred, still confident to go deep at work there.
I think all the old rules about playing that position still apply. If things go wrong, you still act like you're the best player out on the field. You still carry that supreme arrogance with you and continue to fire the ball. I've seen guys have games like this, and this is where you find out if you're great or not. Can you overcome some interceptions and still lead your team to victory?
Again on second and 10, it's Ryan. Eluding the pressure right. And he will score. Touchdown, Falcons. Matt Ryan, a 10-yard touchdown run. And the Falcons will extend their lead. Well, the defensive coverage was good, so good he just decided to make a play of his own, and it worked out.
Yeah, you often wonder if they think to themselves, was the coverage too good to allow him to run the football? I think you'd rather take your chances with him doing exactly that, and he beat him on that play all the way to the end zone.
Now after the touchdown, it's Bosher to kick it away. This will be taken about the 12. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. The Packers offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. And they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board. Well, let's face it, we've been there, we've seen teams before. They were counting on those points. They didn't get them. Can they come back now, start over again, and grind it out?
Decent chunk of yardage still left here. 2nd and 7. One back is Lacey. And he'll get it up the middle. And he'll get this up to about the 40. That's going to be a 6-yard gain. It leaves him with 3rd down and just a yard to go. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo. On 3rd down, here's Lacey. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. Defense really showing respect to the deep ball here, playing off the receivers. And he finds Cook. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And they're able to pick up the conversion here on 4th down.
Well, it all came together on that one, didn't it?
Big-time throw on 4th.
Now, that had to feel good, didn't it? Taking that type of a gamble there, making it pay off. What a throw.
And tough as a receiver because no matter how perfect the pass, you know it's 4th down and you got to convert.
A little bit of extra.
And that's caught inside the 30. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. Well, we haven't been shortchanged on offense. Another fun play to watch there on the deep pass.
This game has the feel of, what, a turkey bowl, a Thanksgiving Day. You know, when we get together this year and the Davises and the Gaudens get together, that's what our playbook's going to look like they're drawing them up in the dirt. And so far, it's working for both of them.
1st and goal here from the 9. They'll run it with Lacey. And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Hey, a lot of points have been scored in this game, but what a nice play by the defense. Stepping up on that one. Maybe they'll get the...
And he'll go down. Brought down at the 20-yard line. Jonathan Babineau in there to pick up his 2nd sack now of the afternoon. Way back at the 19 now. What do they have here on 3rd and goal? On play action. Now Rodgers. And too much juice. It'll be out of bounds, incomplete. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This from 36 yards out. And Crosby picks it through, but there is a penalty marker down. They might be forced to try this one again. Oh, and you just can't do that. 15 yards on the roughing the kicker call.
Absolutely inexcusable. The kicker's in a defenseless position, and he just gets taken out.
Shotgun now for Rodgers. That is caught at the 7-yard line. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there. After all the preparation, all the practice, a play like that will absolutely break your heart. They had everything they wanted, just unable to complete it. In the end zone, a big-time drop.
Rodgers to throw once more. Oh, he almost intercepted it. They're just forcing it into too many tough spots. That was almost a 4th pick of the game. And now 4th down. Likely the play of the game here, trailing in the final quarter and going for it on 4th and goal. Now Rodgers got to have this one. And no, it's incomplete. They had the play call on 4th and goal, but it's dropped in the end zone. And the Falcons defense stands tall. They'll get the football back. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And they were able to punch it in the end zone last time. They'll be looking to do that again here for the defense. Obviously, they'll be looking to stop them from punching it back in the end zone.
It always is punch-counter-punch, isn't it? And which team has the advantage? Well, let's just go back. Last time on offense, they rolled downfield, got into a good rhythm. You can see a little more bounce in and out of the huddle. You can see the sideline really get into the game. So defensively...
Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. They give them a gain of 38. Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. Now the offense lining up 1st and 10. Throwing now, Ryan on first down. It's caught over the middle, Hooper. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
Looked like the screen pass was taken away there, and that was a nice job of improvising, but it's not normal. Usually when the screen pass is taken away, you're taught to just throw the ball at the ground at the feet of the receiver so that you don't get it intercepted and just start over. But he ended up...
And now the Packers going to take another timeout. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play.
So many things have to come together just right for a screen pass to break for big yardage. The blocking, the timing of the pass to the runner, everything has to fit together just right. But on that play, the defense was able to disrupt things and hold it to a short gain.
And that's caught by Tammy. A very solid gain of 27.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to...
And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. It'll be their third and final timeout, so as they talk... And the offense still has a couple plays to go to pick up the first on second down and 3. Ryan wants to throw, and he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Jake Ryan. He's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9. So now at 3rd and 12 with an extra defender here in the secondary. A nickel look. Freeman, the lone man in the backfield. Here's Ryan, letting one, and look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. And it's Clinton Dix with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. He'll look to throw. One possession game. Time very much a factor. How does the offense handle this situation?
Well, in a lot of cases, they should be somewhat relaxed. And I know that's counterintuitive because this is a pressure situation. But this is Friday practice every week of the season. You go over this situation, having to go downfield, limited timeouts, got to get out of bounds and keep the drive going and set yourself up. Defensively, you can't just lay back and let them do whatever they want. So it is a cat and mouse deal here. How much pressure will the defense bring, and how much pressure can the offense handle?
We're going to find out. He's back to throw. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down. And they're going to go soft on the corners. They'll look to throw. He's going to let it fly. And that is incomplete, stopping the clock with 5 seconds to go.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had the fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete.
My second body cost a lot. After I bought it, I just wore it home. Reading philosophy and gossip rags. Spending my bottom dollar on my toes. I'm a pacifist who's never not been pacified. I'm a piece of... It's a point of pride. I'm the super rich complaining I want more in life. Cry, baby, cry, oh, cry, baby, cry, oh. I don't really care where I stand in the winner's circle. Make room for a man from the middle. difference. Rattling my replacement heart of gold. I'm coming back to join the cast of Carmen. I never sung a single song before. I don't really care where I stand in the winner's circle. Make room for a man from the middle with you. I don't even know how I got to the finish, but don't care, don't make no difference to me. I don't understand what you're saying, only kinda listen. Make room for a man on a mission with you. I don't even know how I got to the finish, but don't care, don't make no difference.
Babe, show me what you like. Hey, I put money, I can match it for ya. I'm in this all white fit, looking like a brick and all them zippers on a jacket on ya. He got a thing for Latin. He wanna hear a little Spanish in it. I told him it ain't practice it. I'm about to fully up the status. Walk up with the click and I ain't looking like the side in this. I'm the opposite cause I'm the main event and boxing in it. As the time been ticking, I've been out here playing my position. I'm about to get it now. Ain't no one about to block my hit. Cause someday, someone tell me I'm somewhere, doing alright, doing alright.
Everybody, I'm Larry Ridley, and this is Madden 17 on EA Sports. Tonight's matchup features two quarterbacks who will be trying to lead their team to victory. It's the Cowboys going up against the Falcons. With that, let's get you over to the Georgia Dome in Atlanta. Here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Thank you very much, Larry. You are looking live at the Georgia Dome here in downtown Atlanta. Today, we've got a good NFC matchup on tap between the Dallas Cowboys and the Atlanta Falcons. Here's Bosher to kick it away. And this kick goes out of bounds, and that's obviously why the flag comes out here.
And now you can see the defense greeting the kicker as they go out to play. The starting field position for the offense is excellent, puts a lot more pressure on the defensive guys.
Yeah, and if the kicker thinks he's lonesome, he's really lonesome after a play like this.
Yeah, he better hope that he's lonesome because who's ever standing next to him is probably on the defensive side, and they're none too happy.
Prescott on first down. And he hits Jason Witten, the tight end. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. And you think of all the years, speaking of Witten, that he's been around, but that touchdown catch he had against the Packers in the playoffs this year, That was his first postseason career TD.
Come on. That's
First,
not true.
yeah.
That's not true. Where did you get that stat?
Now, that's not as much his fault as their lack of postseason appearances, but it was his first.
That's for real? That's legit?
That is legit.
Hard to believe.
Still, and this is a guy that hasn't missed a game since his rookie season in 2003.
And I don't think he's going to miss a game in 2017 either. I think he's energized and wants to come back and chase the ring.
The wide receivers, often a very, very talented group, and that's the case here.
And they don't mind showcasing it either. Those guys love to be flashy, love to make big plays out in the open field. They will attempt to do so in this game.
Surveying the field. That's caught inside the 20. Touchdown, Cowboys. Des Bryant, 45 yards. And the Cowboys have taken the early lead. Well, that's how they envisioned it. Get the football to start the game and score it.
And I don't know if that was scripted. Was it an audible? Or was it just a play call that they had in their pocket? No matter what, they had the right call on against the right defense, and they end up in the end zone.
Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll probably wish he reconsidered here. It'll cost him 10 yards now with a new rule as he's down at the 15-yard line.
Well, conventional football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these teams, special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive. Almost what we call the green light, red light theory. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like he had green on that play.
They come out with one back and 3 tight ends. They'll throw on first down with Ryan. Oh, he's going to air it out right away. And that one falls incomplete. Looked like he might have had position there, but he couldn't hold on at second down. And the quarterback, he's got some big threats at wideout.
And they seem to get bigger all the time, don't they, Brandon? Every time I look out and watch a game, we're getting these bigger, more athletic, acrobatic receivers. We have some today.
They'll try and run for the first time with Freeman. And he'll take this one up over the 20 to the 21-yard line. 11 carries, 75 yards for Freeman in the game against New England. But remember, a lot of those came on the first carry. He had a good second carry, but then they didn't use him a lot late.
Yeah, I saw them getting to the perimeter early. You see how they stretched out New England's big defensive line? And then as they substitute, they started to try and go back inside. But a lot of people think maybe
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Barry Church. And the return stops at the 39-yard line. The Cowboys offense heading back out and ready to go again. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looked pretty good, so they'll be hoping to do that once more.
And it takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game plan and thought there were some holes in the defense, and they exploited them the last time out. Let's see if they can come back and put together a similar drive.
And we'll see if they can do just that. The Cowboys' all-time receptions leader, Jason Witten, the intended target. And it's second down. Uh-oh, Charles, now you get to talk about your old spot, the secondary. Very key here in this one.
You have to cut me off because, you know, I'll talk about them all game long. Love to see those guys match up and challenge the best wide receivers.
And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. They get 6 here after the incompletion, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 4. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
Now they go screen. It's complete. The ball comes out. A short gain there of just 4, and that'll bring up a 4th down. So, Charles, early December, the Falcons signed offer to a 4-year, $38 million extension, and they got a pretty good early return on their investment in the Super Bowl, didn't they?
They got a massive return on investment. Look, the 82-yard interception return for a touchdown, that's going to be the signature play. but he made a bunch of other plays in the game as well. I think his tackles approached double digits. I think his pass breakups were somewhere around 5 or 6 for the game. He had that interception we talked about, had a fumble recovery. He was all over the place, and he dealt with the extra pressure because his running mate, Desmond Trufant, got hurt midway through the season, so he had to cover people a little bit tighter.
Atlanta now coming out on the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. They'll set up the screen for Freeman. They hold him to only 2 there on the screen. It's second down. And now the defense for Dallas.
Sean Lee is a linebacker with an exciting mix of tackling ability and coverage skills.
On second down, Ryan. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Terrell McClain breaking through to get him for a loss of 7.
Well, how about that? A dime set on defense, 6 defensive backs. None of them blitz. They're just back there in coverage. Defensive lineman gets the sack.
That's where the O-line, they go to the sideline, they keep their helmets on so the cameras can't find them, right?
Yeah, the cameras can't find them, but I know one thing. The O-line coach will.
Looks like Ryan's going to stay out there. Indeed, they're going to try for this on 4th down. They'll indeed go for it with Ryan. And it's complete. Cooper. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. I don't know if I agree with that. I guess they don't care if I agree with that. But, boy, you have to be surprised by that, right?
I definitely was surprised that they decided to go for it in this situation.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Terrell McClain in there to get him his 2nd sack now of the afternoon. Now Ryan on second down. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
What I loved about meeting with these coaches before the game is we didn't even have to ask any questions. They told us that they were going to be aggressive and push the ball downfield. They weren't successful on that play, but look for them to try it again later.
Hits his target. It's Taylor Gabriel. It'll be a pickup of 14, but they're still a little bit short as it brings up 4th.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job here of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. Here's the Dallas offense now, heading back out onto the field. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
Dez Bryant, the intended receiver. And it's 3rd down. And the offense looking to pick up the first down after the 2nd down incompletion.
Come on, let's go.
Prescott from the gun on 3rd. And this is going to be incomplete. The man with over 1,000 catches, Jason Witten, the intended receiver. And it's 4th down. So they are going to call on Dan Bailey here. His career long is 56 yards done in Seattle. This will be from 56 yards out. And his kick is good. He got every bit of that one as it's good from 56 yards out. So a good kick there, and they wrap up the drive by putting 3 on the board.
And you know, let's face it, you're not always going to come away with 6. Defense in the NFL are just too good. But you've got to come away with something. And there, they get 3.
And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here, because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3. And that's exactly what happened there.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. A good pickup there at 22. And that's the connection, Ryan to Jones, that this defense obviously has to key in on.
Certainly feels like they got the party started with that one, doesn't it? And when those two get in sync, it just scares the heck out of defenses because he can hit Julio Jones in a short zone, and he can take it the whole way.
They go play action here on 1st down. This one complete to Mohamed Sanu. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 20-yard line. And now inside the red zone, the offense will operate. And there they went crossing route against the zone defense. What do you think of that?
It takes real coordination between the passer and the receiver because you've got to read those zones and where the open spots are and be on the same page with the guy throwing the football. Because sometimes you're throwing it in front of the zone. Sometimes you're throwing it between the zones. Sometimes the receiver's going to just kind of find a spot and what we call sit down and present himself to the quarterback and throw it there. It's a tough read, but when they're in sync, it's really effective.
2nd and 10. It's Ryan again. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. It's a gain of 6 on the play, and it'll be 3rd down.
I spy a couple of extra defensive backs on the field for Dallas.
Cowboys in the dime on 3rd. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him the football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths.
Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 1st quarter. And no field goal try here from the red zone offense out there. They'll go for it on 4th. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. Now Ryan flushed out right. He's got Sanu. Dan Quinn's guys unable to come through there on 4th down. And the Cowboys defense is going to get them the football back. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. And no press coverage here. They are backing off in the secondary. Rolling to his right. And that's going to be too high, out of bounds and incomplete. Well, with that incompletion, gives me a chance to ask you, what do you think the greatest Super Bowl ever is? Because a lot of people are saying the one we just saw ranks #1.
Well, the most impactful for me, Jets beating the Colts in Super Bowl III, okay, because that was the old AFL, NFL, the underdogs, and it announced a new football, a new era that was going on. I think recent history, Seattle and New England was absolutely tremendous in the way that that one ended. But this comeback by New England with Tom Brady has to...
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Jalen Collins. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Falcon defense has a touchdown. I don't know who all is to blame there, but I love seeing pick sixes.
Nothing like seeing someone pluck it out of the air and go the other way and see people try to change directions. Hard to do.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. Now it's Lucky Whitehead on the return. Now a hit and a loose football. So a teammate picking him up there, that was nearly disaster.
And the way that you coach these things, you want to make sure you have eyes towards the return guy because you want to make sure that the catch is secured. A lot of teams do that. They have at least one guy. Okay, you're responsible for making sure he secures the catch. He's not always the one that makes the recovery, but he can always sound out the alarm. Hey, ball's on the ground. We've got to get it back. I wouldn't be surprised to see the next step in utilizing this position is to actually utilize more of a scat back in this spot because we saw the catch there, right?
A fight for the football, and it's intercepted. Ricardo Allen with a pick. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And on the last drive, they were in field goal range. They just opted not to kick it, didn't get it. How does that change the mentality this go around?
I don't think it changes much for the head coach because this is what he preaches all the time. Attack at all times in any spot on the field, and he likes touchdowns, not field goals. Now, your field goal kicker, you got to make sure you nurse him through and say, okay, don't worry about it. When we need you, you've got to be ready to go. And the team, of course, loves to see points on the board. So let's see if it changes a little bit in the same spot again.
Yeah, we'll see what the decision is here if they get to that spot.
The defensive coordinator came into this game with a plan to get to the quarterback with whatever type of pressure is necessary. It's working to perfection for him today.
Defense looking to hold serve one last time here on 3rd and 7. They run the play fake to Coleman. Now Ryan. He's going to fire one. Looking for Jones, and it's intercepted. Picked off Byron Jones. And they will take over at the 26-yard line. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
2nd down, Prescott. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a 1st down. Well done. A glance back at 2016 for Des Bryant. 50 receptions, under 800 yards, had 8 touchdowns. What do you make of the season that Dez had?
Well, remember, it started with Dez injured, so it took a little while for him to get started. I'm going to make a bold prediction for you. Would not shock me at all if he doubled his catch number next year and darn near doubled his receiving yardage total. Because if he's healthy all year long, they're going to want to take some pressure off of the run game themselves. And Dak Prescott in his 2nd season should be that much more confident throwing it downfield.
Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. He can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
He was trying to get it to Ezekiel Elliott, and it'll bring up 3rd down. So here we go now, an extra defensive back in there on 3rd and 10. Throwing, Prescott, and he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Got to give some credit. They're able to hop up in the air and bat that one away. And that's frustrating for an offensive lineman because the only recourse is when he goes in the air to try and give some type of a pop or a shove, hoping to bring his arms down.
And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. Atlanta now coming out on the field. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. The left side completion to Jones. They'll give him a yard on the play, and it'll be a 2nd down.
If you're running out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
He's going to rifle one deep left side. And they went for a big play through the air on second down. Couldn't connect. Now it's third. And the offense looks to pick up the first here on third after that incompletion. On third down, Ryan. Flush to his right. On the run, he'll let it go deep. Right side. They've got his man. Complete. And he takes this one all the way across midfield into enemy territory down to the 40-yard line.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
And that is incomplete.
I know exactly why I tried to throw the ball to Julio Jones there. He's never considered covered. He's either too fast or too strong. You always try and get it to him.
Especially on those deep passes. Second and 10 now. Ryan. He's going to fire one deep left sideline. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up third.
Tremendous field position there and a perfect time to do exactly what they did. Take a shot at the end zone. And they went for the big play, just unable to complete it.
Third down here for the offense after the incomplete pass. Again, Ryan. This is brought in by Hardy. Touchdown, Falcons. Justin Hardy, 39 yards. And the Falcons are an extra point away from moving out in front. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic.
And the defense loses him. It's complete. They get 31 yards that time. And that leads to a Dallas first down. And the young buck showing that ability, that agility to dance outside of the pocket, complete the deep ball.
And don't think for a second that the coaching staff didn't have their heart rate accelerate a little bit there, right? Anytime you have those young quarterbacks and they get outside of the pocket, you're just hoping that they make good decisions because so many things can happen that can go wrong when you throw it downfield like that. He got away with it there and in a big way.
Unable to connect on the first down pass play. Now it's second down.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it.
Receivers work all the time on making sure they catch the ball, haul it into their bodies before they turn and run. A little bit of loss of focus on that play.
On third down, it's Prescott. He's going to float this one deep right side. And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. It's Desmond Trufant. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Check, 59.
Second and 10, it's Ryan again. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
When defenses get to the quarterback that quickly, a lot of times it's called a jailbreak. It wasn't quite that fast, but fast enough that he had no time to look downfield and set himself to throw the ball. And as he tried to do that, he was hit, and it forced an incompletion.
Ryan. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Morris Claiborne. And they will take over at the 29-yard line. Now the Cowboys offense heads back onto the field. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, the number 4 is kind of, oh, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. On second down, Elliott. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
2nd and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on 3rd down and pick up the 1st down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the 1st down. That's exactly what they did. Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield, but that's okay because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
Throwing again, Prescott on 2nd and 10. Throw right side, complete to Williams. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
And now they're in the hurry-up. Prescott looks to throw on 1st. Escaping the pressure right. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. A great read, and it's picked off. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the 1st half. And here now come the Falcons. And with time quickly fading here in the 2nd quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
He's going to try, and this will be caught at the 30. And unless this is a quick incompletion, this is likely the last play here of this 1st half. So 2 quarters down, 2 remain. Charles and I return after the break. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the 3rd quarter. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. Now the Falcons offense gets ready to head back onto the field. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the 3rd quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what
Ryan hit, and he lost the football. And they will have the football deep in enemy territory all the way at the 10-yard line. A look at the offense now here coming back out on the road. And now a timeout defensively by the Falcons. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. Really nice starting field position here for the offensive unit. They'll come out in the pistol. Prescott now after the fumble recovery. This will be caught just inside the 10. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end, take some easier completions.
An interception last drive. There he hits the reliable target. And he'll be stopped about a yard shy of the goal line after a pickup of about 3.
And Brad, they went to a nickel defense, and that's a surprise this close to the goal line. Because ordinarily you use the back end of the end zone, the sidelines as extra defenders, and you want bigger.
And he will take it in for a Cowboy score. Ezekiel Elliott taking it in. And the Cowboys have retaken the lead.
Well, they decided to run it in and got it done on 3rd and goal. A lot of times.
And he's going to go down. Can't get rid of it. So a sack on the 2-point try. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance to turn that into points on the offensive end.
Can you imagine what the grease board looks like at the half? Because
tell me.
That's exactly what they printed up. Stop them on defense, get the ball back for our offense, and go downfield and score some points. Now, the last part remains to be seen, but they got the first part done very well.
Do people use grease boards, or you mean the magic marker boards?
Yeah, those two.
So here we go, 1st and 10 now. Now Ryan on 1st down. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. And he's certainly not a guy that drops that football very often.
Indeed, because that's a bit of a surprise. I know he's in the middle of some traffic and people, bodies all around him, but he usually has the focus to haul that one in.
So a 2nd down incompletion now brings up 3rd down. 3rd and long. It's Ryan. And it's complete to Jacob Tamme. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
It fits the exact right word. Over the middle, there's almost always traffic, so anytime you're a receiver in that area, you're not just focused on catching the football. You're wondering where the collision's going to come from, right? Because there's almost always someone there able to concentrate, catch it, and even added a little extra at the end with a short run.
On 1st down, Ryan. It's caught left side, Tamme. And he's going to get this inside the 30. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains. And they're going to hurry back to the line now. On 1st and 10, it's Ryan. Incomplete on the right side, it's Tamme. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion. And now the offense operates in the red zone.
Seeing that play and understanding just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice gain right there on 1st down for them. Brings up a nice 2nd down for them. While an incomplete pass certainly doesn't look like a good play, for the guy throwing it today, as many interceptions he's thrown, he's got to feel a sigh of relief that the ball actually hit the ground. It didn't go in the other direction.
Here's Ryan. They'll set up the screen for Freeman. And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. Devontae Freeman, a 20-yard touchdown. And the Falcons have once again taken the lead. Well, it was 3rd and 1. I was expecting run, so much for that. They pass it, they score it.
That had the feel of the head coach telling the offensive coordinator, you've got 4 downs here. We're going to go for it on 4th down unless there's a disaster on 3rd. Go ahead and take a shot if you want to. And he gratefully accepted the opportunity and did exactly that. If they didn't get it there, that had the feel that they would come back and try it on 4th down.
Now after the touchdown, it's Bosher to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And out now come the Cowboys. Prescott on 1st down. And that's incomplete. And with that incompletion, partner, I get to ask you about New England being able to win the Super Bowl with so many unsung heroes. And this isn't new. They've got Tom Brady, but behind him, so many guys that aren't household names stepping up.
That is so true, and we hear all the time how they evaluate and how they develop players. And in this case, the unsung heroes, the number's 4. James White, who would have been the MVP with 14 catches out of the backfield and the game-winning touchdown run, he's a 4th-round draft pick. How about Trey Flowers at 2.5 sacks? A 4th-round draft pick. And last but not least, a guy that I thought played really well was Malcolm Mitchell, wide receiver, who was a 4th-round draft pick as well. So you're exactly right. Unsung heroes making big contributions for the Patriots.
Throw right side, complete to Williams. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. First down, Prescott. He's going to air one out. And it drops down incomplete. Thought he might have had it. Instead, second down. And on 2nd and 10 now.
And you just know when that play call came in, their eyes lit up because anytime you get a chance to take a big shot downfield, that's a lot of fun, and they missed an opportunity.
And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
Oh, man, for him to be that wide open and drop it. Sometimes you have just too much time on your hands, right? You end up thinking way too much, and your hands get shaky.
And yes, he's a tight end, but that's a catch he should have made. 15 yards through the air and a first down. So there on that play, offensively, they ran the crossing route. Defense was in zone coverage, so as a former DB, how tough is it to defend that?
It's really difficult because your natural inclination is to chase the receiver and maybe leave your zone. So you have to have discipline in order to talk to your other coverage guys and let him know that that receiver's crossing from your zone to the next zone. He's coming your way. Make sure you have him. And then when the ball is actually thrown, secure the tackle. When they're moving on crossing routes, if you miss a tackle, it usually results in a big play. We talk about mobility on quarterbacks all the time. Here's where it really pays off. Able to move, evade, and is accurate throwing on the run and picking up a first down.
And he'll get in. Touchdown, Cowboys. Ezekiel Elliott with now his 2nd touchdown of this 3rd quarter. And the Cowboys have once again taken the lead. Now Prescott. And this one incomplete. So they went for the 2. They don't get it. Protection was great. He had time to set up a campsite. But in the secondary, though, they were ready.
And I think that in most places on the field, if you have that much time to throw the ball, someone's going to shake free and you'll find an open receiver. But condensed near the goal line on a 2-point conversion, all that exit, there's not any extra field. So it kind of closes in on them, and that allows you to cover a little bit better.
Now the Falcons offense, they get ready to head back out here. Last time they were out, they scored. Still trailing here, though, so some work to do.
But it's okay in terms of mindset. Because they scored the last time, they're not quite as worried about being down on the scoreboard because now their confidence is a little bit higher. They feel like they've got something going, and they feel like they can attack again and put more points on the board.
Are you scoreboard watching if you're the offense, or are you just focused on this drive?
We wouldn't be telling the truth if we said that they didn't scoreboard watch. Everyone does it to some extent, but you've got to set it aside right now and just focus on this series. That'll take care of the scoreboard if they punch it into the end zone.
On 2nd down, Ryan. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by the linebacker, Sean Lee. And this one will be brought back to the 22. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6.
And they hope it'll be that easy, right? To be able to take exactly what happened before, replicate it. They may have to make a few additional changes along the way because I'm sure the defense will make some adjustments, but they've got to have great confidence having scored the last time out.
Cole Beasley, the intended target. And now it's 2nd down.
How many times when we see an incomplete pass, we just look at the receiver and say, should have caught that one. That was a drop, and we just put it on the offense. How about a little credit for the defense there? They just forced an incompletion.
Yeah, especially after starting in a tough spot defensively, but a good start there on first down.
That gave them a little extra confidence there, starting, as you said, in a tough spot and being able to make a play on first down.
Throwing again, Prescott on 2nd and 10. Bryant with a catch right side. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. That one good for 10 yards. And they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of, until they stop him, why not go back to it? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
They'll try to run for it with Elliott. And he gets the first down yardage before he's brought down just outside the 10 at the 11.
I always appreciate runners who understand situations. That was just 3rd and inches. No reason to dance around in the backfield and try and break off a bigger play. Just go pick up the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
They keep on the ground with Elliott. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. 2nd down. So 2nd and 10 here. So nothing there. I don't know that that's all in the back, though. You got to look at blocking there, don't you?
I would agree with that totally. At some point, they have to win at the point of attack. Instead, it was the defense getting it done again and holding them to no gain.
And on the tackle, Jonathan Babineau. Back now in Atlanta. It's the Cowboys with the football. They'll be looking to tack on to their lead as we get set for the 4th. On 3rd down, it's Prescott. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Everything about that play tells you about today's NFL offenses and what they're asking out of running backs. You can't just be a guy who can run the football. You have to be able to catch it as well, and he didn't get that done on that play.
And Bailey able to knock it through, and that'll push the lead up to 8. So, Charles, I think from a defensive perspective, you have to look at that field goal there and consider it a win.
You were able to keep them within a touchdown, so no question about it. That was the kind of stand that keeps you in ball games.
Here comes the Falcon offense now as they get set to take over here. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Barry Church. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. They start on the ground with Elliott. And he'll work his way across the 30 to the 32. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards. And it's 2nd and 2. The 4th quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Looks like a nickel set here defensively on 3rd and 2.
Yeah, maybe expecting a throw. Prescott on 3rd and 2. Trying to lay one up deep. He's got him in. Complete. A big 30-yard play on 3rd.
Okay, 3rd and short, the mindset of the defense, probably playing the run first. But if you're playing any type of pass coverage, tight coverage, press coverage, and offenses often convert their routes at that point and go farther downfield. And that paid off in a big way for them on that one, a big-time catch downfield.
Oh, he had 6 points in his hands there. Couldn't hang on. 2nd down.
I'm not quite sure how he wasn't able to hold on to that one in the end zone. A great opportunity lost, but a lot of relief for the defensive guys. When they get into film next week, they're going to want to know what happened. Where was the breakdown that almost allowed a touchdown? Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
So the offense needing 4 yards. It's third down. To the air again, Prescott. And that's caught by Beasley. And he will have the first before he's brought down right on the chalk of the 20.
And that pickup of a first down, that's going to leave a mark because they really needed to stop them there, didn't they?
That's so frustrating. Defensively, you're a play away from getting that football. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Ricardo Allen with a pick. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. He was looking for Mohamed Sanu there. And that'll bring up second down.
Well, partner, I think the defensive fellas got the memo, and they decided to cover him on that play.
Yeah, he's already up over 100 yards in this game. They tried a deep shot, couldn't get it.
Yeah, when you've had that much success, finally, someone said, let's try and put us.
And Freeman lost the football. It's picked up by the Cowboys, and they will set up shop in enemy territory at the 42-yard line. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And they had a nice little drive going last time. Threw the interception in the red zone. Costly.
Bad enough to throw it anywhere, but that drives coaches insane when they're thinking about, hey, we got a shot at points already. We're already in a spot where you're thinking you got 3 on the board for sure, and to come away with nothing, that's a really tough one for them to swallow.
Yeah, will they make up for it? He's going to loft one deep left side here. And Dez has got it. Dez Bryant for the Cowboy touchdown. Dez Bryant, his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Cowboys capitalize on the fumble and turn it into 6. And the lead is up to 15 now. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
You like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled. It over on the last possession. So we're again symptomatic.
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis symptomatic of the success of this. And that's caught inside the 30. Touchdown, Falcons. Julio Jones, 76 yards. And the Falcons get a bit closer. Well, you know he can be explosive, and he's ultra-explosive there on the fly route.
And you know how many times we've talked to coaches and we've had quoted back to us, well, you know something? When you execute really well, it doesn't matter if they know it's coming or not. Well, sometimes athleticism beats you as well. He just took off and went. And that's almost like one of your Turkey Bowl games, isn't it? Just go long, man. I'll hit you. And it worked really well for them.
Now after the touchdown, it's Bosher to kick it away. It's a short kick, taking it to 15. And they're going to wind up with pretty good starting field position as they get it up past the 35. So out come the Cowboys now as their offense gets set to take over. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
Help me out, partner. Was that incomplete?
That was on a deep ball to Dez.
And that's a surprise. The way he attacks the football in the air, it's always surprising to me when he doesn't complete a pass like that.
Second down here after the incomplete pass.
Here we go. What? None. What? None.
On second down, Prescott again. And he is out of bounds on the other side of midfield. He got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs. He's been a busy man here in this one, and they're showing off some nice footwork to stay in bounds.
And with those types of catches and the volume that we've seen in this game, wouldn't you keep him busy as well?
I would.
Of course. You got to keep throwing it to him. He keeps making plays.
Prescott looks to throw on first. Drops it underneath. Elliott. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs. He's having a nice game through the air. His decision-making's been really good. Solid there again. Just seeing nothing downfield goes underneath. Nice game.
How about the patience? Because when you're having a big game through the air, you're looking for those chunk plays, those big ones downfield. Instead, as you noted, takes the check down, dumps it off, gains good yardage anyway. Really well executed.
Give them 11 yards that time and a new set of downs. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Second down, Prescott. And he can't hang on. That's definitely going to be one he wishes he had back. Incomplete in the end zone. And at this stage of the game, time a factor, time on their side as they just try to eke out the final precious moments of this one. Prescott from the gun on third. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. A loss of a yard, and it brings up fourth. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
So a big one there as that gives them a little cushion.
And you know, here in the fourth quarter, the fact that they were able to bleed some time off the clock and put points on the board, even if it's only 3, that can turn out to be the drive that ultimately wins them the game.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And last time the formula was pretty simple. One-play drive, long pass. That maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up. Whether it's on your grease board, right, in your playbook, one-play drive's exactly what you want on offense. What they have to be careful of is not having a letdown. It was real easy last time. They can't expect that going forward.
Yeah, we'll see if it's that easy here. Second down now after the incompletion. Again on 2nd and 10, it's Ryan. He's going to sling this deep down. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40.
Now, that play will end up on the highlights, and you'll see it all over the place. But what you won't see, the offensive line that bought the extra time, that allowed for the big completion downfield, those guys made that play possible.
And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down. Second down following the incompletion. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. Second and 10 now. Ryan. Time for a break. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up third. So still a full 10 yards to go here for the offense on third down. On third down, Ryan. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on fourth down. They're going for it. Here we go. It's Ryan on fourth down. Ryan hit, and he lost the football. The Cowboys here unable to convert on fourth down. And the Cowboys defense is going to get them the football back. The offense for the Cowboys now working their way back onto the field. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one who goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin to.
Now, whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Defense really showing respect to the deep ball here, playing off the receivers. On third down, it's Prescott. He's going to look deep down the field, and he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. Out now comes the Cowboys punter as he'll punt it away for the second time. And that one hits at the 7, but bounds into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback. And the Falcons now making their way back out onto the field. They had a great drive going last time. They were moving the ball, and then all of a sudden it just stalled out. So we'll see what they can do here, Charles.
And it's always easy to second guess when you don't get it on a fourth down try. But they had to like the feeling that they had going on offense. They want to continue to see if they can capture that again on this drive and maybe get in the same position.
Yeah, and that's, I mean, like I said, they were moving the football. It's not like they went 4 and out, so I don't think it's a deal. And the Cowboys pressure gets there this time for the sack. Anthony Hitchens in there to take him down, and the clock will roll. And, Charles, in this situation, this is where the word miracle comes into play.
Have to score real fast, maybe throw a jump ball in the end zone and hope for the best.
Here's Ryan to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that one incomplete. Had some position but couldn't hold on, and it brings up fourth down.
Well, he bounced up after taking a sack and took a shot downfield. I think a lot of us thought maybe he'd run draw in that situation. Instead, tried to get all back in one play.
Yeah, 3rd and long. Thought he needed the deep pass. Couldn't connect it.
Maybe he was hoping for a penalty.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Sean Lee in there to record another sack. Their 6th of the afternoon. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play.
Here we go. 1, 9.
Down to a knee here. The defense still with a couple of timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them. And the Falcons going to use another timeout. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play.